Hey, what's up everybody? Long time no see. Haven't done one of these videos in a while. So let's jump right into it. I posted a picture on Reddit of showing off my automatic shulker calling system that utilizes the 1.14 lectern and the barrels and this nice little table that they added. Scaffolding. It's called scaffolding. I don't even know what it's called yet. And a bunch of you guys were asking for tutorials, so this is going to be a showcase tutorial video, just kind of explaining how it works. So essentially, the lectern here, you have a calling system lectern that you can choose which item that you want to get. So right now we want redstone, so we're going to get push to order your shulker box. You'll get a redstone shulker box right there, nice and dandy, and it's really quick. When you take the book out, just fair warning that you need to push the reset button to put the system back ready to accept the book again. This is a item input for if you wanted to combine this to be like a storage room kind of thing. That's what I'm going to be doing. You put your items in, and they'll sort through into shulker box sorters and loaders. And when you get your thing called, so let's call them another one, this is where those come out. So very quick, very efficient. Let's get into the tutorial. So what you want to start off with is a 13 block long wall. This is going to be your item interface wall that you access with the lectern and the two barrels. Obviously, if you have a separate item stream that is getting your items into the Shulker Box Loaders, feel free to not include this part. It's really simple to just omit. This piece right here, these are kind of crucial, the placement that I put them in. So first what you want to do is go the 13 blocks, and then on the third one from the far left, if you're doing it as I have done, put a hopper facing out, away from the wall, and then another hopper, and then a barrel facing like that. The lectern 4 blocks away from the barrel, and then 4 blocks away from the lectern, another barrel. You can put it on a little table, the scaffolding, or just have it floating, but you will need to have the block punched out and a hopper put in. And that kind of takes care of all of your interface, and you can put this in your survival base, in your house, wherever, your underground base. You don't have to use white concrete or iron blocks. That's just what I'm using. And to label these, you can put these so that you know, or your friends know, or whoever is accessing this. Item output, I just put that in wrong. Let me fix that. There we go. And you're going to want to place a button here and a button here. That's very crucial that these two, you're going to need to use both of those. In this, we're going to call the reset button, and we're going to call this one the order button. And the last thing you need for the interface is just getting yourself a book. Get yourself to page 15 on all the stuff that you want. And now this build doesn't have to be 15 blocks long or 15 shulker orders long. If you only want to put in like 3 of those modules, you can go up to page 3 with the items and call it good. I'm going to do 15 because I'm going to need that much space. Now let's get into the heavy redstone. So what we're going to work on next is the redcoder, beginning of the redcoder, and you're going to come behind the lectern and make sure that this block right here is a solid block, because if not, the lectern's power won't transmit through to the comparator. What you're going to want to do is place a comparator facing outwards and place 2 of them down. This will transmit your lectern's power into the redstone. And what you're going to want to do is come out 15 blocks. If you want it 15 blocks max, go for it. If you want it shorter, that's fine. Do it the length that you're going to do it. But I'm going to do it 15, and I'm going to go out 15 blocks, place redstone all on top, and now what we're going to do, I'm going to build a slice of the redcoder, and then repeat it down just so you guys can see how it's built. What you're going to want to do is drop down 1 block, place a repeater, come up 1 block, and Place a redstone torch on the back of that. Man, I can't talk today. Come up a block above the repeater. Place a piece of redstone. Come right here. Place a repeater. Come over here. Place a torch. Nope, that's wrong. Nope, that was actually right. We're gonna put a torch here, and then that's Bob's your uncle. That's all you really need. That's all you need to do is have this circuit right here, this slice for this entire way down. And there we go. That's looking real nice, and it's all built out, all modular, all just one slice repeated after another. And as you can see here, we've got one redstone torch on, and the rest are off. And to explain why this is, and I've got this little hole here so that you can see, when you flip a page, it will actually move down one. And the best way to explain this is to just take a look at the redstone. Essentially, this comparator is extending a signal out for here, right? Powering the repeater underneath of it. Thus, powering that block which unpowers that torch. But because the repeater isn't powered 5 redstone power, it's actually not powering this repeater, thus not powering this torch, thus we only get one output. So this is really neat because we can only have one output for each of these, and you can flip through as quick as you want, and it's not going to mess up any of the system. The next thing that we want to do is grab yourself some sticky pistons. Right here, you're going to need 15 total, and you're going to basically take your sticky piston, place it up, and you're going to place a note block on top. That one is powered now because it's set to number 1 on the scale. And what you're going to do is just come down and place sticky pistons all on top, and then place note blocks on top of those. I place note blocks because I like hearing the nice little ding every time I switch, or when I order. And if you don't want to hear the ding, or if this is too expensive for you, just use normal blocks. That is perfectly okay. The next thing that we're going to do is assemble this order system button right here, okay? So what you're going to do is come up behind the button, place a redstone dust right there, a piston facing upwards, a block on its face, and then let me grab a different concrete. That's good. Place a concrete there with a repeater extending out all the way down to the back. Place redstone dust on top of all of that. Grab yourself some more blocks. I'm going to use red because I like the color red, and it's different colored for a different type of circuit. Put blocks on either side of the note block that's on top of the piston. And then what you're going to want to do is take repeaters and repeat all the way down on both sides, facing towards the note block. Or these ones facing towards the note block, and the other one's facing away. Essentially what this is going to do is when this button selector, or the lectern selector panel, is set to 1, it's going to only emit a signal through number 1. As you can see here, we only got an output from that one right there. I know, I'll slow it down a little bit. As you can see, we got outputs through these, but because there's no block here, none of these got outputted. What we're going to do next is come to these repeaters, and one block down from the repeater, we're going to place an observer facing downwards. The best way to do this is probably place temporary blocks, like right here, and then come underneath, place all the observers, but you're going to do it the entire way down, and then on top of the observers, place trapdoors. What we're going to do next here is grab ourselves the observers and come 4 down. So you're going to have a line of 4 going straight down into a block, and then come underneath and place a dropper. You don't necessarily have to have a block on all of these, but for the first one, you will need a block. So the next ones, you can actually have an air gap, like this. What you're going to want to do next is build the water stream. So this is pretty simple. This doesn't have to be glass. Just make sure that there's a water stream of water underneath all of these droppers. Just some way that you get them all into one centralized location, like right here. What you're going to want to do now, after you build the water stream, is place in 2 hoppers at the end of the dropper system here. And then place a dropper at the end of the 2 hoppers, and place 2 blocks like this as to close off, as to not let any water come through. And grab yourself some soul sand. Again, if you're in survival, not too hard to grab. These are mostly survival friendly materials. And you're going to build this tube all the way up until you get to right here. Break the, make sure that there's a clear sight to the hopper. Place another hopper there. Replace that block. And then bring your water stream tube up and place at the level of the trapdoors, place another trapdoor. Okay, that's very important that that's there. And you're going to want to just make sure that no items can fly out by doing that. And once the stream you're sure is safe and you can put water in, go ahead and put your water in, and it should start bubbling. I said it should start. There it goes. It starts bubbling. And your items will, when popped out of the droppers, will come up this water stream into the hopper, into your output chest. That is the entire calling system completed. Now what we're going to work on is the Shulker Box Loader system. You're going to want to place 4 hoppers out from each of these droppers. So the Shulker Box Loader system actually isn't my design. This is from a YouTuber called Mango. His design I did take and modify just a little bit. I essentially just added a dropper here to minus one of the hoppers that he has us use. This is the slice of it that you're going to want to build on your system here. Okay, it's very simple. You just have the 4 hoppers down here. You got a slab on here, a block comparator into a block into redstone. This is a dropper, and these are 2 sticky pistons, one facing up, one facing down. This observer is facing into this repeater on 2 ticks, and this observer is facing into this repeater. This block right here is a dispenser, so this is where all of your empty shulker boxes are going to get filled up. And when one is dispensed, this right here is going to be your item input line, where the items come in and then load up into the shulker box. This is your shulker box input line, where you can have extra shulker box storage. And essentially how this works is when this hopper reaches a number of 23, that is here. Just grab one of these and fill it up. Put it back down. And when this hopper reaches 23, it's going to break the shulker box and then replace it. That's the system right there. It's so simple and so easy, and all you need to do is just repeat this all the way down. Next thing we're going to do is get your item input line set up. So we're going to place a dropper at the back of this hopper right here, facing upwards. Build a tunnel around it so that you can put a water cage in there. Right about there. Build it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks high. Leave this block open. Place your soul sand at the bottom and get the water in. Don't place the water at the last one, because we're going to be putting the item stream here. Replace that block with packed ice real quick, and then pull the packed ice all the way out until you get to about right here. We're going to do the item filters next, so we'll know where to put the item stream once the item filter is done. So this is going to be your block configuration for your item filter. You're going to have your hopper, dropper, hopper, dropper, hopper, dropper, and then facing into the dropper on the side, on this side, is a hopper, and then on top of that hopper is another hopper facing away from this entire machine. And you're going to place that into a comparator, place 2 pieces of redstone, a redstone down, a repeater here, and then a torch here. your entire filter system is now ready. You just have to put the items in. So let's just put these in. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to filter in, let's say, torches. So that number should drop down to 41. And now your filter is ready. The next thing that we're going to want to try out here is getting in the item elevators set up to actually elevate our items. So you're going to get a comparator, a piston, and 2 observers. Okay. And place a block down like that. You're going to get your comparator facing outwards into a sticky piston. Make the observer, the red point, face away from the dispenser. And then grab a block and break this one out. And what you got to kind of do is sneak in right here, get it facing that way. So that when there's an item in here, it will raise the piston, raise the observer, shooting them all out. As you can see, they're slowly coming in. 100% reliable. Do the same for over here. Next, we're going to build a reset circuit, which is going to be placed right behind this block. So you're going to kind of get back here. It's a little bit spaghetti noodling now, and you're going to place a block underneath where the button is. So when you press this button, it'll light up that piece of redstone. Grab yourself a piston, into a full block, into a repeater, into a piece of redstone, which you're going to want to set the repeater to 2 ticks. Essentially, what this does is sometimes when you take the book off, all of these can pop up. If you're at, like, here, I'll try and replicate it here. Set it all the way to 15, and then if you take the book off, a lot of them pop up. So what you want to do is hit the button, and it brings them all back down. Perfect. The final thing that you really need to set up is getting this item stream figured in. You're basically just going to put a water bucket right here. All right. Water bucket right there. To send water out this way, make sure that you place a trapdoor like around this area and not like down here, because you want to have a trapdoor right here and then a full water source right here going that way with all of its momentum. If it's not, if this water piece is like back here, the items will slowly crawl along and then stop at the first trapdoor. That's first thing. Second thing, you want a chest right here. The reason for this is because of the amount of pixels are in a chest. This allows the items to come over just that little bit that it needs to be able to be caught up by the hopper. Obviously, I didn't actually put in like the hopper here. I just demonstration purposes, this right here is all you're going to need pulled all the way back. And this item stream, once you get it figured out to be all the way at the end, you can add like a little cactus right here for any items that aren't supposed to go in there, or you can have this go into the rest of your storage system. But besides that, this entire system is completed. Alright, that's it for this build. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.